This is John Dunn coming from sunny Florida, Jupiter, Florida to be exact. And I'm right now speaking to Ricard, who's in the car somewhere in California on his way back from Mammoth Mountain. Hello, Ricard.
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, man, we are out here in California. We're going from the beach to the snow today. And that's from Newport Beach, California. It's clear, it's crisp, it's clean, and we're heading up to Mammoth to have some good recovery fun, man.
That's the California dream, brother. You know, you're living it right now, right?
Well, we're not in shorts in Florida, but we do have options. It's true.
Well, you know, we got the warmth out here, but the no snow for sure. Being born and raised in California, I do miss that one aspect. But at 78 degrees, feeling like 88 today, you know, it's pretty darn nice in Florida.
Yeah, right on, bro.
So what's happening today in your life, Ricard? I'm curious.
Well, let me tell you what happened so far. Okay, so yesterday I lost my wallet, which included my identification. It had my credit cards in there, had my insurance card in there for my health insurance, and it had my Costco card in there.
Oh.
And it's very thin. The profile's very thin on it. It can go in my pocket. Anyway, I lost it. And I lost it. We're getting ready to go. Me and my whole family, we're in two different cars because it's so full. We are going. I get home and I've lost all of that stuff. And in my mind, I was thinking, man, I really used to respond differently to the situation. Because what I figured out is I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I cooked me some tea. This incredible tea that the brew from this tea gives you the most incredible infusion of thought, clarity, and grounding. I can't wait until you start showing it off later on. But anyway, I had that tea this morning, and I ended up at the DMV. The first DMV that I went to was shut down. It's no longer open, right? And I'm trying to get there at 6 o'clock, so I got to go all the way from Costa Mesa all the way to Santa Ana. I get to Santa Ana, not very many people are there. They open at 7, not 8. So not only am I there early, but they open early. I'm out of there by 7:10 with all of my ID. I already got my card shut down and resent to me, and I got a brand new picture. I've been needing a brand new picture anyway. That's how I got it. And
that's great.
We're on the roll. I found out that by 2020, at least in California, what you need to do is you need to come in with your Social Security card, your passport, and 2 bills that are in your name of the same address in which is on your driver's license. So it can be like a utility bill, it could be a bank statement, but all of those are required in order for you to get the no federal restriction identification that's required by 2020. With the regular ID, you could fly and do all that other stuff, but you have to have this other new ID with all of these identifications.
Wow.
Even getting a new picture. I tried to go into a credit union to set up an account last year with my passport and my regular driver's license, and they wouldn't give it to me. I went home, I got a bill, I brought that back. They said, this doesn't look like you. And I thought, well, you know what that means? I've got to get new identification. I first wanted to argue, right?
Yeah.
But I realized, but you know what came out of it? What came out of that situation was I was so upset about them doing it. My responses now cause solution, right? I went home and said, you know what, screw this. What do you mean? This is me. It's not like I'm lying. Turns out I had all of the records from my grandfather, so we got federal credit union membership instead.
Good.
But that's what required me to get it, is to get denied over there because of my identification. But so anyway, I got my IDs all sorted out now. The picture's all updated because my picture is from 2000. On all of my IDs, because they just keep, if you just renew it online, They just send it to you new. You don't have to do anything.
So
If it's late,
you're only like 5 years old when that was taken, right?
yeah, man, or 12. Sorry.
That's good. It's good you had the patience to. It's good you had the patience and the tolerance. And in California, getting out of anywhere within like less than 2 hours and waiting in line is a win, right?
Oh, for sure. I went to go schedule it last night because I'm in the solutions now, right? I'm no longer doing all of that stuff that I can't even figure out how to think every day, right? So I come home and I immediately go online to set up an appointment. First appointment's on May 15th. I'm thinking May 15th, I'm getting this done in the morning.
Right. Right.
I'm not waiting till May 15th to get an ID.
Yeah. Well, it's good, my brother. That's
So,
good. You took the initiative.
Tell me what's up.
Oh wow, this whole week has been crazy. Sorry we couldn't connect yesterday, but I had to take a day to kind of take it all in and process what's been going on. And what I was trying to figure out is why I couldn't tell you yesterday was, we had to figure out there's tremendous change, and whenever change starts to happen, it's sometimes tough, or sometimes you don't understand it, or it can't always be that you believe that maybe it's not that good, but in the end, change is always good. You know what I mean? And in this particular change, we had to, there's a great expression that says, whatever doesn't serve you, get rid of it, or things that don't make you happy, stop complaining about them, just make the change. And, this is all about embracing the change. So, my wife and I had some things happen. They weren't like life-threatening. And these are first world problems. Again, this is living sober and in recovery. You get to deal with some some issues with your kids and with your life and people around you. And if you don't like things that are affecting your kids or their growth or just the way, the surroundings, you're able to, as an adult now in this life, make those decisions that are, that will obviously, impact their lives for years to come. That's what was happening this week. And so yesterday we literally pulled the trigger on a change and feel really good about it. It feels almost like there was a giant weight lifted off our shoulders. And, not to get into the dirty details of it, but, whenever change happens, it's always good. Plus that, I learned so much that I shared with you the other night, about acceptance and all the other things, I don't think I could have been as accepting, over time it gets better and better, but, right off the get-go, right when I laid down the drugs or stopped doing the destructive behavior I was doing, was I able to be even understanding for one moment or accepting, so, all these years later, I'm able to, still learn a lesson, in life and be ready to make that other turn to correct it. I don't want to be stuck in the mud where we don't correct, because then I think I'm doomed, So I still want to laugh at myself and be able to try and correct or not repeat the same mistakes, which is going to keep me out of trouble most of the time, right?
That's great, man. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it. I do my daily routine, brother. I wake up in the morning and I recite my first step, my second step, my third step, and I do the third step prayer because the steps work for me. And the first three steps in that third step prayer, which is sort of the sort of, I guess, my way of letting go and taking the hands off the wheel, is, because I love to hang on to that wheel. You know what I mean? Real tight. So, letting go is tough for me, but if I do that every day, it works for me. And it's
that, when you said that, it's so much easier for me to let things go today. It's almost like it's very short-lived nowadays. I never expected my life to feel so good. I never expected things that this situation with the card, the losing the credit cards and all of that. You know what that would have caused in the past? I would have been yelling and screaming, and just my brain wasn't able to really organize. I mean, we're going on 20 years of this process of development, but really in the last 15 have really been this incredible. I wish people could have shared with me what I'm sharing with people now before. You could be so much further ahead in your recovery and in your life, you know.
But
And you know,
that's the knowledge, brother. It's the knowledge. It's almost like, but you know what I like what you're doing, and what, you know, waiting for some of our other fellow brothers to jump into the shoes, you know, you can walk into, you know what I mean? It's almost like the message. It took me 30 years to realize that maybe I had something to give back to the world. It's really ridiculous if you think about it. I mean, because I was thinking like, wow, what if I would have done this at 10 years? Wait, 15, no, 20. No, we're going to do this at 30. So whatever. It's like what you're doing is what your purpose. It's like it's supposed to happen right now. And I guess there's really, again, it is what it is, and you're doing what you're doing, and it's important.
yeah, I was just thinking about it this morning. I was talking to this guy that I'm coaching. I says, "Hey man, I'm getting ready to get some new shoes. Do you want these other ones?" He goes, "Man, they're still bright and shiny." I says, "I know, because we're staying on that, you know." And we really were just talking about the conversation that we were in. His perspective and his environment gave him information that's really not true, but he lived and agreed with it. In other words, having a problem with being a parent, having a problem being a person in society, having a problem with legalities in life, having a problem with consuming, and really believing in his mind that it was going to be that bad or worse forever. And he was really, and nobody around him agreed otherwise except for me.
Mm.
And I said, you know, you can choose to have another thought process, or you can keep continuing to think the way you're thinking. And in the event that you do, you'll get the results that come with it. So choose what you want to do. So this is the way I talk. This is the way him and I communicate, because I can't do it for you. He's like, I know, bro, but no one's ever said that to me before. I said, all right. I said, I understand that. And what we do is we stay more open, because how many, I bet you I can get 5 people think they've been saying that to you over and over for years. He goes, yeah, they keep saying that to me, but not what you just said to me. And I totally get what you got. I said, okay. I said, well, let's continue on. So these are the kind of conversations I'm having with these guys that were otherwise hopeless, without a hope. And he has a sponsor and works the spot. You can't have a whole team included to be one person. Just sorry. Sorry. Your whole team isn't one person. If it is, you're screwed. Okay?
Oh,
And so,
absolutely.
So I tell people all the time, like, you can't count on me for everything, but I'll be there when you're ready. And where does that language coming from? Routine, all day, every day, just like what you're doing right now. I mean, I'm so grateful that you're even on the phone right now.
I am too, brother. My day, I'm going to be mowing the lawn here in a little bit. It seems like the last time I spoke to you, I was mowing the lawn, but out here in Florida, when it rains, the grass grows. So these are, what you're talking about, and what you did at the DMV today, and what I did with, this had to do with like some sports activities with one of my kids, and actually both of our kids, pulling them out of this place. And, these are what I like to call first world problems. You know what I mean? These are quality problems, but again, there are things that go on in life past the point of like worrying about when your next drug's going to be, or when your next drink is, or when your next, sex exploit, whatever your thing was, when you're engaged in living in life as we are right now, as of right now today, these are quality problems. And I have to remind myself of that, because, like you said, the solution comes in just, you showed up, you got there early. And there's also the great saying is 98% or 99% of success is just showing up. So you showed up at 7 a.m. Actually, you went to the wrong place, but you got the other place early, and it worked, right? So in the end, that's crazy. So, I mean,
I got my ID. Listen, last night the ID's gone. Today I got my ID. So that to me, and I really just mentioned it, John, really because having all of that stuff in order, I had a passport at home that I could take down to the DMV and get it covered, because I have everything.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, well, I can't get a, some people I work with are in trouble with the law and they say they can't get a passport. That's not true. You might not be able to leave the country.
That you can get a
But,
passport.
well, you have to look into each state's regulation, but really they say that you're not allowed to get a passport because you're really not allowed to leave the country, and you can't leave the country without a passport. But that doesn't mean that it's not a secondary identification process.
Right.
It really, because losing your ID, like what happened to me, I lost my ID and everything. You know what happened? Check this out. My Apple Pay, when they canceled my old card and sent me a new card, and my Apple Pay worked at the ATM. How you like
Nice.
it now?
Nice. Nice. Hey, I want to switch gears for 1 second.
Okay.
I want to talk about like the one thing I'm curious about is your feelings about the Recovery Broadcast Channel and how it's just going to affect those out there that were actually going to watch these videos and the videos that they're going to produce, the videos they're going to produce for those who are going to watch their videos, and how this whole thing works.
Well, I guess the question. Ask me the question again.
Well, I think,
okay, here. Let's just do this. So when you started talking about, hey man, we should do this recovery broadcast channel, and what your vision was, and really when I sat down with Ron and we had that conversation about the bigger scope, because we understand so many different valuations of helping human beings become better beings, feeling better beings. I was so excited because, as you know, my roots really had struggled with mental health and drugs and alcohol so bad that I almost died a number of times.
Yep.
That to be able to share our recovery and all of the scopes of what our recovery are, to me, is a wonderful thing. The idea, we want people to share the positive aspects of their recovery. We understand that we all go through struggle. 99% of the content you're going to hear from everybody else is about how everything's going bad, but we're really here to share with you how things are going good. We're not here to deny that bad things happen. We're not here to act like struggles don't come up. We're more here to share that recovery is a solution for so many of us, and in different ways, right? Not everybody has the same type of recovery. There's a lot of different people confused about the way medication works. There's a lot of people against it. I see a lot of people stabilizing with it. People abuse everything. We get it. But we're really talking about a life of wellness and health and in recovery. So for me, when you said, hey, would you like to be a part of this? I jumped on it right away because nobody else is doing it. Hopefully everybody will be doing it. I want everybody. There's billions of people, so it's cool. There's no competition. Everybody just here in a good way, sharing the recovery story about things moving forward. Maybe share a little bit of the struggle, but let's talk about the solution, the resolve. Yeah, let's get into the solution. The solution is where the value is. The conflict should be behind you right now. Solutions ahead.
I agree. It's funny. I kind of gave you a loaded question there, and I'm sorry for that. But I like to keep you on guard, Ricard. You know what I mean? So.
Well, just put the video up. It's okay. If the more we're able to talk about that stuff, the easier it is. The reality is.
I like to do things that I've always done business that I have fun in, or I'm motivated, or I'm inspired by, or I feel like there's a reason or a cause. It's funny that took this.
Well, let's do that. How many minutes should we do these videos?
Yeah, this is a whole other subject. So let's go. We're gonna.
Why don't when we put this video up, why don't whoever gets to this point tell us what they would prefer? Just because we're right here right now, right? We'll put this video up, and whoever's listening right now, type in the messages. I would prefer it to be this length, right? And then maybe we can get a group consensus from the participation of everybody that's really participating.
Well, I think this is a first. This is our first video for Recovery Broadcast Channel, so we're kind of going across many topics. I think if we stay specific towards certain things in the next videos, it'll be great. This will be great to look back on as our first video. This 2019 March. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, no, I just think that the whole reason to get recovery back on track, there's a couple different things. It's sort of a list. It's sort of recovery message is a little skewed, which that's my opinion. I think you agree with me. And number two, recovery comes in all different sizes and shapes. It's not one size fits all. Do we agree on that?
Yep.
Check the box. So it's like those two things. I feel like there's a whole lot to talk about. So on the next video, we'll talk about that. But for now, like Ricard asked, if you don't mind, below, give us some comments on, video, subject, and then, also let us know if you want to tell us your story. Look, every story is great, and every story has a different twist to it, and everyone's going to either identify with you. They may not like me. I want everybody to like me. They may not like you, Ricard, right? I know you want everybody like you.
Yeah.
But hey, the reality is someone's going to like someone, identify that with them, and that's really how it works, right? So, put up your send us a little message, let us know, join the group, and we'll look forward to
get on here and share your recovery, man. Go on the recovery broadcast channel, say, yes, I want to share my recovery story, let's get you signed up.
Yep, I agree. All right, brother, drive safe. I'll catch up with you. I'll give you a call on the phone later.
You got it. I'll talk to you then.
Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.